Happy Monday, everyone, and here we go for a new week with some uh, Fed decisions, some interest rate announcements for the US, and a recent all-time high for Bitcoin, which is very exciting. So we're coming up to this level of resistance up here, which we were targeting for our longs, and we are very close to reaching it. So we set that out around here, over here. We came down over the weekend, last Thursday. We tapped our short order and we bought into the long. I did sell out a little bit early, but that is fine because I was in profit. But we are coming up to this level of resistance, which is quite interesting. As we've come up during this area, during Saturday morning, was definitely sorry, let me just tidy this up. So in this area was when Donald Trump was having his conversations and announcements when he was at the Bitcoin conference in Las Vegas. And so it was very much a buy the rumor, sell the news fact. But as you can also see that even after, so the sale went up, people sold the news, it was bought up, it was sold off, and now we're off again, heading into the same direction as before the conference. So here we are on the same trajectory, meeting up this point of interest, which we've targeted before. We are within hours, maybe even 1 hour of tapping this, unless we have a sell-off prior to it, which can happen either way. But what I want to bring up as a conversation is, so we've got these buy levels, because I think that there's a real strong chance that we may just come up, tap this, and sell off. And I think that that's how it's going to happen. I don't think we're going to have a blow off top because we've still got a lot of liquidity wicks in there that are all the way back from, let it just load, all the way back from June. So that's where our highs have been. We're about 8% or so from previous all-time highs. So where are we now? We're here. Yeah, not even. We're 3.8% away from our all-time highs. So, we really are close. And to think that we're just going to just keep going straight up, I think it's a foolish fact. There's obviously going to be sellouts because the market moves in waves. So I think that we're going to have I think before we go up, we definitely have to come down and mitigate some orders. We have to go through, the market will chase the liquidity and it will sell people out because people will start, when they see this sort of market where from Friday, is it Friday or Thursday? From Thursday, we've just been on an uptrend, a little bit of a pullback, but the dip was bought and off we go. So people bought the dip, let it rip, and now we're moving up to this protected high with a lot of liquidity wicks to be mitigated. A lot of orders that are filled in there, take profits and stop losses of shorts. So we're looking at coming up. I do feel that this is going to be a significant level of resistance. And let me be proved wrong, that's fine. But what I want to sort of point out is if we go to the hourly of market cap of USDT, let's hide that. There we go. So if we go to the market cap of USDT, our current all-time high is up here. at high of 114.5 billion, and we're sitting about 100 billion short of the all-time high. So, so even though that was that was Thursday, and Bitcoin has gone up, and yet the market cap of cryptocurrency of the USDT has gone down. There's been a little bit of a sellout. There was a massive liquidity week. I have honestly no idea what happened there, and it doesn't matter. Just hope to not be a part of it. There was an increase on Sunday morning at 11 o'clock Brizzy time, and now we are here sitting at this sort of average level for Monday, just below that. So are we going to have another quick sell-off? Are people going to withdraw from the market of USDT, or are we going to jump ahead? Which obviously, if we look at this, the market is always moving up. You know, there's been a few moments where it's come back and withdrawn. So that was the start of July. We've had a quick dip here. Are we going to come back and retrace? Are people going to withdraw from the cryptocurrencies of USDT, or are they going to keep going up? So if we look at the crypto market cap, this is total including Ethereum, and we're looking at Ethereum and Bitcoin. We are still from this all-time high. We're looking at 1% down, 1% to go, as opposed to 3%, which is actually quite incredible as well. But what we've also created is there's a massive, like in the last hour in itself, a massive liquidity week where we've moved 1.5% in the entire crypto market cap. If we move back into the total three, is the crypto market cap excluding USDT and all base currencies and Bitcoin and Ethereum, and we've had a move in 1.43%. We're significantly lower if you remove out Ethereum and Bitcoin, and the total market cap of cryptocurrency of stable coins. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit confused there. So let's just set that as a weekly breakup structure up there. Actually, sorry, it's a protected low. Let's put it as that. Protected high. Protected high. There we go. A bit more solid. So with this protected high, we are significantly lower. There's been obviously such a massive sell-off. We're 2.59% from the all-time high. So there's a lot more for the entire cryptocurrency to move ahead because the bulk of it is sitting in Ethereum and Bitcoin. If we move down to the hourly rate of Ethereum, we've just broken this recent liquidity retest. So if we check this out, this one is an area where we break through quite often. So here was the liquidity wick initially created back in 27th of June. Within an entire month, we blew through in an imbalance wick. We fell, we retested, we fell away. Over here, we blew through, just created a mitigation, but because it was such a fine mitigation, I left it there in place because this wasn't a daily imbalance. And so we came up, we retested it, and we moved away. So it's an area of quite significant level. Over here, we bounced on it, we fell away. Another former proof to this imbalance level that falls straight through. Here we came up, we touched, we rejected, and we moved away. And here we've blown through, we've created a new hourly wick, and now we're moving to higher prices. So our next levels of hourly liquidity is at currently at 3378, 3,378, and then we're going to start moving up to these higher levels. So the next target is potentially 3,432. So that's quite interesting. So we've had this little sell-off, we've had the buy up. So from Thursday, the Thursday of Ethereum, we had the sell-off, and then our buy up really has been quite erratic. There's been a little bit of buy up. That's the this area just here was the Donald Trump crypto conference conversation, which doesn't look near as bullish as the Bitcoin chart. But then if we move on to Solana, we see that Solana is much more bullish. So this was Thursday, we've come off less wiki. If we look at the crypto conference and Donald Trump conversation, it was just a sell-off, straight buy up. You know, there was a little bit of a pullback, but that was maybe 50%, and now we've pushed on. We've broken a daily liquidity wick, and now we're starting to break into recent all-time highs. We're still not at the complete highs because the next target that we have as a daily is 204.79. So what we've got here is we've got a real move where we've moved up potentially on Solana 16.27% without a massive pullback. So we've still got so much move. Now let's move into the S&P just quickly. We've had a much bigger sell-off. Thursday was a sell down, a massive spike in liquidity, and a sell-off again. So let's just quickly reset this chart view. So this was a liquidity low at 5,500. We rejected, we fell through, we came up, we couldn't quite touch it, we fell through, and now we're coming up to test it again. Now the question is, are we, because the crypto market is governed by the US markets, especially as we go to the S&P 500, the Russell 2000, and the Nasdaq 100, so are we going to see sell-off in the S&P 500? Are we going to come up, tackle this area of liquidity and come down, or are we going to see come up, touch, fall away, or are we going to find a touch, break? Sorry, I should have done that up to fill that imbalance. Are we going to find that we do that? So are we going to come up, fill this imbalance? Are we going to come up? Are we going to reject off this area of imbalance just here, where people will have placed short liquidity? Or are we just going to meet this liquidity retest where we've been rejected once before, we fell through here, and it was a level of support here? So is that something that we're going to come to grief with? So if that's the case, if this becomes an area of, if this becomes a point of area to go short, and the market shows that we're about to go short over the next few hours, then I believe that Bitcoin, in that simple movement, can come up, reach this point, and fall short. Solana could potentially come up, meet its interest. Oh, it's going to be a long way away because I haven't drawn up this chart. So are we going to come up on Solana meet this area of liquidity, meet this area of liquidity, or potentially meet this area of liquidity. So these are our current let's just go there. So in saying that, these are our current areas where we could find potential areas to go short. Yes, we've blown up, but these are spaces where we could very well find ourselves in the next few hours as point of areas to go short. Or even, yeah. So let's see if we find and meet that area of resistance, which may be just a minor one at 93.94, so at $194, or we could find resistance at 197.70 or 199. So as we reach that 200 mark, we all know that a $200 round number is definitely significant. So for Solana, we could be reaching that area of resistance. Over here, we've just broken this liquidity retest. Is this going to be an area? Is this going to be an area of resistance or potentially higher? We've had a day where from Monday, definitely at 9 o'clock, we've had this move where we've just gone up. We've had a nice little tear on everything, Ethereum, Solana, and Bitcoin. And so we have to meet at some point an area of resistance. So it looks like they all have a little bit of topside resistance. Getting a little bit of a rejection off Bitcoin already. Solana's got its just above it. And then we're also looking at the S&P sitting at this area of resistance as well, with a potential room for move for everyone, but this is an area of resistance as well. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at a little bit of upside for today, a little bit more upside for today, but tonight, especially as we move to the US session around that 11 o'clock midnight tonight, that there could be an area of distribution. Not to say that we're about to crash to the floor, but I think there'll be a little bit of a sell-off, especially as we come into, so today is the 29th, and then on the 1st, so 3 days from now, is the federal press conference and the federal interest rate decision. So there's going to be a lot of anticipation as we move towards those two meetings. Actually, that's going to happen. So that's 4:30 Australian time, 3 days. So it's 2 days away. So we've got. So we're going to just find ourselves as we move towards the 1st of August that there's going to be a lot of anticipation. I perceive a little bit of a sell-off today, anticipation buying, and then there's going to be a buy the rumor, sell the news kind of fact, much the same as the Bitcoin sale, Ethereum sale, and Solana sale that all occurred during the Donald Trump Bitcoin conference happening just here. So that's where I believe things are going to be moving in the next few days. So what I'm looking at is a potential sell-off down to here. I'm going to start accumulate buying here for a short-term target once again, but I'm definitely going to be staying very attuned to the market for the next 3 days as we come closer towards that federal rate decision and conference, and then we'll see how we go from there. Alright, that's it for now. Happy trading, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.